Hello everyone, my name is Sarah or Kavana, either way. I'm actually doing these videos because it's 2015 and quite personally I am tired of stereotypes and the pure ignorance in regards to religions. Now before I do any of these videos, I want a disclaimer that I in no way, shape, or form intend to insult anyone's beliefs, and I may say some statements that are wrong, and if I do so, please comment, because there's no way I can learn and correct them if no one states the obvious. Now, I'm going to be doing my first set of videos on my religion, mostly because there is a lot of misunderstanding, misconception that has been mutilated and transformed throughout the years. And it's about time that someone gets the truth out there. Now, I'm sure somebody else has, and I'm sure there are several videos you can find based on this exact religion. However, if I constantly assume somebody else did it, and then that person assumes someone else did it, no one will ever say anything. And it's high time that I get it off my chest. I'm a person who speaks my mind, so please don't take these videos wrong. I'm just a very straightforward person. First and foremost, my religion, I'm a pagan. I follow the Druidic branch, and in so doing, I believe wisdom is one of the greatest powers you can pass down from generation to generation. It is one of the things that we should constantly strive to find. And I wrestled with my conscience for quite a while about this because I realize, being a witch, a lot of people are going to say, oh, go after her, and I could be putting my family on the line. But I spoke to my husband, and he believes that this is the right thing to do as well. That being said, let us begin. I think I'm going to start the first few videos off with a few symbols that have been misconceived. And for today, I chose the pentacle because it's constantly perceived as something evil and something to be avoided. This is a pentacle. It's the star with the circle. It is not a satanic symbol. It is an ancient symbol used for earth, air, fire, and water, and spirit. It is used for protection. It is used as a symbol of faith. It is used as unity between the elements, which every pagan strives for. A complete balance with nature, and whatever that path may be, whatever that may mean. The beauty of our religion is, though we may walk the similar path, each one of us gets something different from it. Each one of us finds what we're supposed to find peace. Now, these videos are not intended to try to sway your religion. Not at all. In fact, I'm going to try to touch on several different ones. But I do believe if you don't open your mind and try to understand one another, we constantly live in a state of ignorance, and all that does is causes war and stupidity. That's why I'm trying to clear the air. Now, a lot of people believe that Druidism is a religion where we sacrifice children or we slit the throats of goats and do things like that. It's not. In fact, like many other pagans, we hold life sacred. All life. Yes, there are people that still go out hunting, but they give respect to the animals that they take down. They use that animal. They respect the fact that they took a life. I personally do not, but because that is the vow that I took when I started my path. I chose my path. I chose what I was going to give up for the sake of enlightenment of my own kind in the form of wisdom. Now, another misconception has been that we are satanic followers. No one sells their soul in our faith. No one. There is no devil in the craft. That is a Christian concept, and where Christianity stands, where if you're not a follower you're not going to your heaven. We don't believe that. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying that is your path. Ours is different. We respect the spirits of nature. We may call different names of deities, or we may call the same. It depends on the person that you're practicing with. But we do not sell our souls, we do not sacrifice children, and we do not worship the devil. Next is the belief that all witchcraft is evil. This again is wrong. Many pagans refuse to do any form of magic against another. There are some that do, but they follow a path where it is proper action to take steps to bring justice to someone who has harmed you. Does that mean they're going out there and slitting their hands and trying to, cutting off feet of ravens and trying to make potions to bring death? Abso-fucking-lutely not. All of that is something that Hollywood has put in, and it's not true. We also don't have green skin, obviously, or very malformed noses. This again is something that has been twisted and contorted through time, but there was a poem that I really liked that talks about that green hag. And I don't have the poem, and I probably won't do it justice, but basically it stated that they bring out this symbolism of a witch who has gangly hair, she has the pointy hat, she has green skin and a malformed nose, and they look at that as a symbol of something that had once came, this evil incarnate type thing that they slaughter from the land. But this person looked at it as this woman who had been tortured and beaten to the point where her bruises turned green. Her nose was broken on her torment, forced through all kinds of different forms of painful hell just to admit to something that she may or may not have been guilty of, to be taken out and hung or drowned or burned. This vision became a stereotype. They used it in The Wizard of Oz, which was great for the movie, because there was a good witch and there was a bad witch, and you had to be able to tell the difference, right? Fine, whatever, I get it. But this is 2015. Seeing those images now, it may not set anyone else off, but it sets me off, because it's just a symbolism of ignorance. We don't just come out on Halloween, we are always here. And I can deal with them. I had to say something, because personally I just hate the stereotype of what we are. Another thing that I have been hearing a lot of is all pagans are dark, and they wear the pointy hats, they wear black, all this other stuff, they're gothic. Where I personally do favor the darker colors. Believe me when I tell you that after being to several different gatherings, they're probably the most colorful people you will ever meet. They are loving, they are joyful, they love life. And when we get together, it's like a rainbow puked all over the land. I mean, it is just a beautiful thing. Something else that has been said is that we dance naked under the moonlight. Well, this one is true, ladies and gentlemen. We do love dancing naked under the moon, but that's because it's freedom. And I don't know how to explain it, but when you hear drum beat and you see the moon above you and you feel this amazing connection, it doesn't matter what you're wearing or not wearing. You get lost in the moment, and it's a beautiful thing. It's full of life and laughter, and I sound insane, but if you've ever experienced it, there's nothing like it in the world. Now, there was a woman I met a few years ago. I can't remember her name. We came up with a joke name, and that's all I can remember her by. But she went to a gathering that I went to. And she herself was a very devout Christian, and her husband had all these different misconceptions about what we were and what we were doing. In fact, we even made a joke about how, we were going to go out in the woods with the porta potty poo, and we were going to make shit demons and raise them to conquer the world. But, I mean, it's an ongoing joke, obviously. But she was there to understand her daughter, to learn. And it didn't falter her faith, but now she knows her daughter better. And to me, that's beautiful. And that's the way it should be. And that is the point of these videos. To try to show that if we know one another, if we understand where we're coming from, it breaks all these different barriers that we have put ourselves into by boxing ourselves into these places, by refusing to open our minds. We're doing nothing but hurting ourselves and each other. Another thing that I have to touch up on, and again, I don't mean any disrespect to anyone who may have said this, but it does irritate the piss out of me. Some people that they decided to follow paganism because it was a fad. It was a thing that was in. And in so doing, when they opened their mind up to things, they experienced something. Usually a ghost or something followed them home or something like that. And so they decided not to do it anymore. First of all, no shit. When you open yourself up to the spirit realm, spirits want to communicate. Does that mean that they're demonic? Hell no. But if you don't understand something and your only reaction to it is fear, of course it's going to seem dark. But when you open yourself up to it and then get scared that something happens, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? I mean, pardon my language, but seriously. What did you think was going to happen? I had to get that off my chest because it's something that's been bugging me. I hear a lot of it. My hometown, there were so many different people that decided that this was their fad, this was a thing that they were going to try because it was in. Well, it's like taking out a Ouija board and not respecting what it is, not respecting what you could be calling in, and then expecting every single thing that does come out is evil, and then hiding from it and being stupid about it and not closing your circle, and then saying, oh, it was the devil, I messed with the devil. You don't know what you're messing with. And so in fear, we create everything to be evil, and that's not right. In saying that, if you see a pentacle, it's not a pentagram. They are completely different symbols, for one. And it does not mean it's evil. In fact, if you move into a place and there's one hanging up somewhere, leave it be, because it was probably used to protect that home. That was somebody's treasured possession that they used to protect their home, to show their faith. And if you disrespect it without understanding why it was there, you may open up a whole shitstorm of pain for yourself and your family. Instead of assuming that it's evil, you should take a step back and realize that it may actually be a symbol of protection, something to keep you safe, something that this person decided it was time to pass on. Now, that being said, it's really no different than a cross. In all honesty, it's not. It's a symbolism. No matter what that symbol represents, it is a symbol. And it is one of faith. If you don't want someone disrespecting your cross, don't disrespect their pentacle. Those of us who wear them know that people are going to hate us. But we don't care because, like you, we are very proud of who we are. I have a million and one things I want to say, but I realize that my first video shouldn't be super long. So, on the next video, I will hit another symbol. and go into full detail about it. I'm also an herbalist, and I've been thinking about doing one herb a video and explain its magical properties and its healing properties, and I was wondering if that'd be a good idea. So if I don't get any comments about it, I'm going to assume, and I'm going to do one next video, and then if someone says something about it after that, I'll put another one in the next one. Again, I don't mean any disrespect to anyone, but there's really, honestly, if you go outside and fart against the wind, it's going to offend somebody. If you go on to Facebook and you post a picture, guaranteed it's going to offend someone. So I don't mean to, but I realize I'm going to, no matter how many steps and precautions I take. So that being said, I'm also going to explain some of the Sabbats as they come closer. The next one is Yule, and I'm going to go into full detail about that. If there's another religion you'd like me to touch up on, please comment. I would love to touch up on other ones. I just decided to start with mine first because it's one that I know a lot about and it's one that I'm very passionate about. But please, by all means, if you have one you would like me to touch up on, if you have some sort of question about any faith, I will do my best to find the answer for you. That being said, I'm going to cut this video short, and well, not really short, it means over 16 minutes, but I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to see you in the next video. So until then, blessed be, merry meet, merry part, till we merry meet again, and may your path always be lit.